Hey all, welcome back to another speed build video thingy, and this one is another shell challenge. And this was another one of Simsy's shells challenge, and it was called the soup shell, I'm pretty sure. And I have no idea why it was called the soup shell. I even went into the live stream and never really picked up, and they were like, yeah, don't really ask, it's just called the soup shell. So this one was probably one of the hardest shell challenges I have ever done. Shell challenges are already kind of hard by themselves, but this one was a doozy. It just had a lot of weird shapes, and I had no idea how to do the roof. I had no how to do. For this challenge, I decided to make a country home, not a country home, a ranch. I decided to make a like horse ranch, not very big. It's not on the biggest plot in Chestnut Ridge, but it's a good size home, and I forget how many bedrooms there are. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. I think it ended up being, but yeah, this build was tough. Like literally, the roof took forever, probably about 45 minutes to an hour, and it was over like 8 to I think it was maybe like 15 minutes of footage. I cut out like most of it and I left a little bit. And the floor plan also took literally forever. But I've never built a ranch style home, so I'm pretty happy with at least pushing myself. And I'm happy I even completed this after a while, especially after doing that roof and the floor plan. And then there's like this whole thing where I accidentally didn't save, and I was like, okay, maybe we're gonna throw this video idea out the window. But I was like, no, I'm gonna go back, fix everything that didn't save, and then basically just build it and just like finish this. And I did finish it. And honestly, I think at the end it doesn't look too bad. It is a odd shaped building, an awful shaped building. LilSimise knew what she was doing. I actually was just watching one of her live streams and she was like, as she's working on building her own version of this, she's like, I am so sorry that I did this to you guys. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty tough. So it has a like half wraparound porch, and as you can see here, I'm like working on the bottom roof. That one was the easiest. It was just like pretty simple, pretty basic. It was the top that like really was, I had no idea. And I'm not that great of a roofer in the first place, so it was already like pretty challenging, but I think it ends up looking fine. I think it's still a pretty bad roof, but there's something I do when I'm building roofs, and right now it's not a good example, but I try to think about how water falls off of it. And as long as water doesn't find these like little things where it can just build up and then basically leak through, I think it's a successful roof. And sometimes there are like weird divots, but as long as like water will spill out at some point, like not like it doesn't build up too much, then I think success. That was a successful roof, and it worked. But yeah, I do end up cutting out like a massive portion of it because this roof took me literally forever. Like I built it, then deleted it, and I built it and then deleted it. And it was mostly the top. The bottom I barely touched. Like that roof was so easy. It's extremely boring, but it was so easy. But I tried so many different type of shapes. And there's not really like anything you can really use as reference for this build. Like I was looking at farmhouses or farm ranches, whatever you want to call them. I was looking at them, but like none of them have roofs like this. Like all the roofs are pretty simple, and this is not a simple roof. But as you can see, I tried multiple different ways, and I did keep a good amount of it in just to see, so you guys could see how I struggled. But I did cut out a large portion of it. But as you can see, this is like taking up a good amount of time, so you can definitely tell like it took a while because more than like 60 to 70% is cut out. On a like a totally different note, I would love to get your guys' opinion on something. Do you guys think my speed build videos are sped up too fast? I've searched everything on the internet about how much people speed up their videos typically. I haven't watched any YouTube videos on it, only like I've only read stuff, and no one's really said anything. I should probably just look at YouTube videos to see how much. But yeah, I use Premiere Pro to edit my videos, and I tend to try to do like 250 to 300%, or not, yeah, like speed it up that much, so that was that like 2.5 to 3 times faster. But I've seen some people say like 4 times faster, but then I'm like, is that too fast? I just don't want people to get dizzy, and I do end up cutting out large portions of the video anyway, because I like a lot of times I'm doing work in the background as I'm building, so sometimes something comes up and I have to like do something, and I cut out large portions anyway. And also I don't want to do 45 to hour long speed videos because I don't have that much to talk about. But yeah, let me know how, if you guys think it's too fast, or if I need to make it slower, or you think I can make it a little faster, or if you're just like, I'll watch whatever. I know a lot of times people listen to speed builds more than they actually watch them. Like they'll have them in the background and then look at them every once in a while, but they kind of treat it like a podcast. And that's kind of what I'm doing with how I talk in these speed videos is I do kind of just treat it as a podcast. So right now I am adding all of the fences to the building. I think it's quite cute. I use a lot of horse ranch and cottage living. I almost when I first like was like getting through it, I almost was gonna go like maybe I'll only use those two packs and try to keep it pack limited. But then as I was going along and also when I actually finally checked, I was like, oh, I used a lot of other packs. But I mostly use cottage living and horse ranch just because they're two like farmhouse style, ranch style stuff, like packs. They're expansion packs. So yeah, and I thought that fit it well. And there's also a horse barn, like a really tiny one, just for one horse, and then a little chicken coop in the backyard, which we'll get to near the end of the video. So I thought maybe we could discuss some Sims news. I think this is going to come out on the Monday after. So today is a Thursday. I'm filming and recording this on October 3rd, which is the day the Life and Death expansion pack trailer was released. So this kind of dates the video, but I think it looks really fun. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy it right away. I think like the only Sims pack I ever was like, I need to buy this right away. And this was when I was also like actively making YouTube videos and I was also building stuff I wanted to like change into it. But like For Rent is like the only one I think I've ever bought nearly right away. I still don't have the Love Struck expansion. I think I will get it at some point off like CD keys or just like wait till it's on sale. I'll probably just do it off CD keys. I feel like it'd still be cheaper than Sims 4 sale. But I don't know if I'll get this one right away. I really want to see how people use it. It's like not, I'm playing with occults now. So I am enjoying occults at the moment, but I don't always enjoy playing with occults. And especially my legacies, I'm trying to like my legacy challenge I like play on my own, which I haven't played in a hot second just because I've been so busy with either like making videos for this channel or like my actual job. I've been trying to like it's like pretty realistic, but I'm thinking about maybe incorporating like a little bit of more occult stuff. But I guess my only like concern is especially with like legacies, I'm not someone who like lives with my parents, like the Sims parents the whole time. Like I kind of want them to like move out right away so I can kind of start a whole new storyline. And then like of course like I visit the grandparents and stuff. But it's like does all this stuff only apply if you're doing like multi-generational gameplay in the same house, or if people can still live apart from each other and you can still do like funerals with your parents even though they don't live with you anymore? Or is I guess we'll like see, like we'll learn everything. But I'm also like concerned that like do you have an option of them staying around and joining your household as a ghost, or can you just like let them kind of be outside the household, kind of like how ghosts are now, where if you have their gravestone on the lot or something, that the ghost can still come visit you without actually having to be in your household. And I know that like if you want to do the gameplay part, but kind of made it seem like that like once they die and become a ghost, and if they don't go directly to the afterlife, if they'd like immediately just join your household. I don't want, which I think is okay, but I think maybe for certain gameplay ways I'll want that. Then there's the whole like rebirth thing, which I think is still pretty vague. But like the basically reincarnation, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And I think that could be really fun. Or like do like if you do the rebirth reincarnation, could they be rebirthed to a totally different family, or do they stay in your household bloodline family? Like do they basically just become a baby that's also that person? And I'm lots of questions, and I'm very curious to see how people play with it. And I think it'll be really fun. And the trailer was like phenomenal. One, I love that song. It's Nothing Matters. Love that song. I love that there's a Simlish version of it. And also the trailer was just like really well done. Like one of their probably like best trailers. And I know that like Sims 4 is staying around for a while now. And I really hope this is kind of them showing that they're like trying to, and I know that, I don't know, I'm hoping this is them showing that they're like trying to improve the quality of their stuff. But also I know that apparently it's like different teams that works on different packs. Like there's a different team for every other expansion pack, and apparently people have started to notice that one team like makes the really good expansion packs and one team makes the expansion packs. Like one did Love Struck and then one does this one, or one did like I don't know. I don't know if I completely think that stuff is true. They're like different teams, and like one team's a little better, but I could see that happening, especially if like there's one like the quote unquote dream team that's a lot more like senior developers and all that kind of stuff, or senior whatever you want to call them, creative directors, whatnot. Anyway, as I was yapping, as you can see, I am making the floor plan, which took a while. And actually, I mentioned this before, but as I was building this floor plan, like after I was done and like did a little bit of a backyard, I accidentally went like exit game and then pressed exit without saving and did not save. So everything from this point on got like basically deleted. And like luckily I kind of remembered it. And then I should have really just like watched back the video and saw how I did it, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna do it off memory. So after this portion of the video, if everything like looks slightly different, it's because it kind of is, because I had to redo it and I did it off camera. So and I didn't want to like refilm all of it. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. I could have just like completely redone it from scratch, but it's okay. But yeah, I'm pretty okay with this floor plan that I end up deciding on. I think it lays out well. I think there are some little tight places. Like there's a space right next to the staircase. It gets tighter. Right now it's like a little bigger, but it gets tighter later. I think that's like really tight. It's just like a one block opening, but I mean I was able to put a bathroom downstairs, and also like have a whole kitchen. I think the kitchen's a cool shape, which you'll see later, and then nice little dining room. I think yeah, it's a good home. And upstairs we have like like a twins room, so it's like two bunks. We have the like primary bedroom, and then we also have a tiny little nursery, which I think are, again, all are super cute. Also super proud of myself for building this entire build without any custom content. Impressive for Aidan, since he is a massive custom content person. I was super excited to use all these windows from Horse Ranch because I've never really used them before. Because again, I always just build custom content, so of course I'm going to use custom content windows. So it's fun to explore like the ways to use these windows from Horse Ranch, and because they're really good windows. I wish they had a couple more sizes. And then here is the barn that I was mentioning in the backyard. It's pretty basic. It's just a barn, and as you can see, it takes me like a million years to find anything in the catalog because I'm blind. I really talk way too fast. I like sometimes re-listen to what I'm saying, and I'm like, Aidan, take a deep breath. You are going to be okay. There's no reason for you to have to talk a million miles an hour. You have literally 30 minutes to discuss and yap. And also I change topics way too fast, but I guess you kind of have to do that in speed videos. But yeah, the first barn I built was like a little larger, and I don't like it right here. I end up moving it away and move it to the corner, and then only make it big enough for one horse, and it doesn't have like a individual stalls. It's just like one big stall. I'm curious, like how well horses can use these rooms, because of course it's like big enough for the horse to go in, but also I put the water trough and the hay trough on either side right next to the bed, and I'm pretty sure all of it's still accessible because I think the bed kind of acts as like basically a carpet. It's like a bed, but it's also acts as like a carpet where they can walk over it. But I should probably play test that. But guess what? I'm not, because it's just a shell challenge and I don't want to change it because I think it looks good. But if it doesn't work and you download this for some reason, just move the troughs outside and they can still use it. Anyway, as I say anyway like a million times, how are you guys? How was your weekend? What did you guys do this past weekend? When I'm filming this, the weekend before, I went to a music festival. It was very fun. It was in Maryland. It's called All Things Go. There is a lot of drama around this specific music festival. I went last year, and it was a really good time. And we got the tickets before the lineup was even announced. And when they announced the lineup, Chapel Roan was on it, which we were like so excited for. And then there's a bunch of other artists that I was so excited to see, like Renee Rapp. I've been following her since like Jimmy Awards, which is like 2018, 2017. I've been following her for a while. And yeah, and then there was like a couple other artists that we really wanted to see. But the day before, on Friday, and so All Things Go takes place in both Maryland and New York. So basically like certain artists, New York only has one stage, Maryland has two, but certain artists like swap what days, and then Chapel Roan dropped out Friday. which is like a whole other thing. And there's a whole other conversation to have about that, about her dropping out so late and then still continuing her tour in other places. I don't know. I don't know. I think as someone who also like struggles with mental health, and then imagine that like multiplied by like a million, because a million people are yelling at you every 5 seconds, not even 5 seconds, every millisecond. I don't know. I can feel for her. But a lot of people were very pissed. And luckily in Maryland, they replaced her with Muna, which was only going to be in New York. And Muna, luckily, is the same demographic of people. So I was super happy. And like Muna was so much fun. Of course, I'm a little sad I didn't get to see Chapel Roan live. But also, I think it would have been so chaotic and hectic. And it already was a little bit. It was not as bad as the first year when Lana Del Rey was there. But it was pretty chaotic and hectic still. And I think it would have been multiplied by like 1,000 if Chapel Roan was there. So blessing and curse, because it was like honestly such a relaxing, just like fun weekend. Like we saw everyone we wanted to see. It wasn't even that stressful. Had a good time with some friends. Did a lot of dancing. And yeah, really fun. So all things go in Maryland. Got to go to DC for a day. I took a bus to DC to go meet my friends because they went up early because they went to go see the Charlie XX concert in DC in Baltimore. So I went up Friday and then we like hung out in DC for the day. Then Saturday, Sunday was the festival. And then I came back on Monday. But my favorite part was, even though there were like some, I guess, like bigger artists that I wanted to see, I think like the best part was seeing some of the smaller artists and like seeing artists. I knew like one or two songs. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to listen to you more. Like, for example, Medium Build, I saw them and they were like really good. And I got like weirdly emotional during one of their songs. Sammy Ray and Friends is such a fun band to watch live. If you can see them, see them. It's so fun, just fun and silly, and that was really fun. And that was like one of the earlier ones. Now, enough about me and my fun last weekend. Right now, we are working on the interior finally. So as you can see, that's the floor plan, or I think we already talked about that. There's the basement. I end up like basically doing nothing in the basement. I kind of made it like a little bit of a bar with like wine, like so you can like age your wine down there. Because at the point when I got to the basement, I was like, I'm done. We're gonna just like do the bare minimum for this space. And I almost forgot about it. I really almost forgot about it. And actually, because I get really overwhelmed really easily, I moved to the landscaping outside. And I'm actually really happy with the landscaping on this one. I think it looks not too busy, but busy enough. And I try to like keep it like pretty narrowed down on like what vegetation I could use. And again, I used mostly just like base game, and then I think I basically for the vegetation I only used base game and horse ranch because we're in the horse ranch world, so of course I was going to use the vegetation that was around horse ranch. Also, complete side note, if you hear little sniffles, that is me. I have a little bit of a snuffy nose. I try to keep the colors yellow, purple, and green. Of course, green. And then I use like the little like small grass pieces to just kind of give a little bit more texture throughout the entire lawn. And I'm actually pretty happy with what I end up doing for the terrain paint as well. And I kind of made like this like stone area that looks like it's been walked on, and it fades off because of course in Chestnut Ridge there are no roads here. And that's why I don't think cars will ever come, because a lot of the worlds now barely have roads, and especially not driveways. Driveways, never heard of her. And guess what? I even added rocks. I added rocks into the terrain, not into the terrain, into the vegetation. I just think it like, I don't know, it looks cool. And I just used the base game ones and made them like a little tanner to match like the rocks in the area. And I think they look cool, and I use them in a lot of the terrain. So yeah, here's me starting the terrain paint. So yeah, I don't use this one. I use this like drier looking stone, and I just do it and then have it fade off, and then I use a different one to kind of like edge it a little bit, and then I use like more soil for the actual like plant beds. And I think it looks pretty cool, and I'm pretty happy with it. I definitely want to practice my vegetation more. I think I'm gonna like force myself to make a park for my, if you guys remember my save file that I'm doing, there's 2 episodes out of it, I believe, right now, or 3. There may be 3 episodes now, but yeah, I think there's 3 episodes. Yeah, there's 3 episodes because one came out today. So yeah, there's 3 episodes out, and I'm kind of working on another house for it. But I think I'm also going to force myself to like actually build the parks, because I was thinking for my save file I would build most of the buildings, but then probably take some from the gallery for the buildings I don't want to do, like some of the community lots. Not that I don't want to do them, but like I don't think I have the ability. But I think for a park or two, I will definitely force myself to do it because I want to get better at vegetation and landscaping. As we're doing this like little yapathon, I want to talk. We're gonna discuss more on the life and death thing, just because like it came out today, so you guys can't blame me for it taking up like a large portion of my Sims brain. I am pretty happy that we're getting funerals. I think that's gonna be really fun. I'm super excited about graveyards, and it kind of makes me so sad I didn't save all the graves from my legacy, my personal legacy, which I think is up to like 14 or 15. I really gotta go back to that sometime soon. I'm excited to start playing Sims for fun outside of like making videos, and making videos is fun, but I'm excited to play like on my own time. But again, just don't have time, and I do enjoy making these videos. Like I left for a hot minute, and I'm excited to be back, and we'll see how long I stay back. I'm hoping for a while, but I'm really enjoying making videos again. Doesn't stress me out at all. Not at all. Just kidding. I think like always making myself kind of follow a schedule can stress me out a little bit. If you guys don't know and can't tell by my rate of speak and my cadence of speak, is I do have ADHD, just like every other Gen Z kid ever, but I am diagnosed. Just saying. But yeah, ADHD, whatever. But yeah, sometimes when I set myself to a stricter schedule, I can get a little overwhelmed and stressed, but not really. I also like do work in production, and I am a producer, so schedules also run my life, and I do enjoy them. But sometimes I don't. I don't know. I'm actually just like talking in circles. Here we are working on the cute little backyard, adding some rocks, some flowers. I just kind of copy the front to the back, kind of just like put little vegetations in the corners, just so there's like a big open area that's gonna like basically all be stone, which I kind of feel bad that the horse, it's like fenced area when it comes out is all stone. But if you think about it, like all the land around it, the horse can go like run around there, especially like with their owner. They can literally go anywhere. And then this little like padlock area, when I first built it, I was building it to make a little garden that you could grow veggies and stuff. But then as I was getting near to the end of this build, I was like, I actually don't want to build a garden, so I put a chicken coop there instead. And I think it's actually really cute, and I think having little chickens hopping around could be fun. And here we are working on the kitchen. So I don't know, this kitchen was easy, I guess. I definitely expand the size a little bit more because I wanted it to just be a little bit more unique than just on the walls. So I expand it so I could put a like an island basically in the front, but it's not like an island you can sit at. It's basically just an island to cook at. I made it very red. As you guys can see, I made a red fridge, but then I end up changing the counters to like from cottage living into the cottage living red, and then changing the fridge to more of a tan color, and then matching that with the stove. And I think it looks cool. I think it looks like a kitchen. Nothing really that fancy about it. I really gotta stop putting my stoves in front of windows. As someone who used to have a stove in front of windows, that window was constantly covered in oil and just like residue from cooking. And I always, for some reason, put my stoves in front of windows in The Sims. And I think it's because, like, if you think about it, you spend most of your time at the stove. Yes, you also spend a lot of time at the sink, but you spend a lot of time at the stove. And why would you not want to look outside the window as you're cooking? And now that I'm thinking about it, I do move that stove off the window because I put the sink there and then move the stove into the corner, which is an even better spot for it. I'm actually pretty happy with the decor that I end up putting in this kitchen. I think it's pretty cute. It's not too much, but it's not too little. I add a little kettle because I think a kettle, this is like, I know it's a like American ranch, basically like I don't know, a horse ranch, but it gives a little bit of British vibes. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the clutter that I put in this space. And I think it's still pretty, there's definitely open counter space for anyone to use, which is great. For the sim to use to cook. And I am so sorry to always coming back to the life and death thing because I keep like off going it. But Grim Reaper career, that's kind of cool. Are we gonna like accidentally kill everyone in the world, or is it gonna randomly generate new sims for you to reap, or are you literally just gonna reap everyone while you're working? Because I don't wanna go around killing everyone, not killing, but like reaping them. I don't know. I guess we'll see. And since it's an active career, I'm curious because it does like talk about like a headquarters. Is that like a headquarters you can actually go to? Like, is it going to be something where you go to it kind of like get to work, where you can go to like the hospital or the police station or the science center? Like, is there gonna be a whatever the Grim Reaper headquarters that you go to actually like go to work? Because it said like something about like, oh, you go to work but then you also go out on the field and like do the reaping, and like employee of the month, like it sounds like a fun career. And then mortician, we love an inactive career. I love that too. I wish the mortician, not mortician, was it, what was it? I think it was like you had two options, like two directions in that career. It was like mortician, and then you could be a funeral director. But I wish that was also active, because it'd be cool if you could like have your own funeral home. But we can't ask for too much, even though apparently Sims 3 used to have more stuff in their expansion packs and Sims 4 has less. But I mean, it is cool that this is the first of like its kind. Like this pack is like this expansion pack, the Sims hasn't really done it before, at least that I know of. They haven't ever had an expansion pack like this, and I think it seems pretty fleshed out. But we will see if it's super broken. It will probably be a little bit broken. We can't expect it not to be. I hopefully it's not like game breaking broken, but like it's gonna have glitches, and I think it's a little unfair to like, not unfair, I don't know, am I just being a Sims 4 apologist? But I, as someone who like works in production, not game production, but like mistakes happen, not even mistakes, but like you can never, I don't know, everyone's computer and system is so different, and everyone's game is so different and loaded up with a bunch of like mods or not mods, or just like has different things, that like glitches are going to be inevitable in every game ever. And I think that's why games like that are purely on other systems like Xbox or what, like don't really have glitches like that. And I don't know, I guess I don't know, I understand it. And also like Sims 4 is like a machine learning, I'm gonna say AI, but it's not, it's technically not AI. I mean, it is AI, but it's a different version of AI than the AI that like everyone's talking about. Like the Sims 4 is a like machine learning AI system, you know, like the Sims are ran off a AI and a learning system. So of course like stuff are gonna go wrong and your Sims are gonna be annoying. Like you can really only do so much, especially when it's like an open, quote unquote open sandbox world kind of thing. It's not an open world, you guys know what I mean, but like the Sims, like they can go anywhere, they can walk anywhere, whatever, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is that like it makes sense that there's gonna be glitches, and especially because like they're still using the base core game, like they really need to upgrade the core like a crazy amount and then start dishing out more complicated like setups and stuff. But I don't know, whatever. Sims apologists, comment that below. But anyway, here I am working on the living room. I think it's pretty cute. It's pretty simple. I didn't make this house like too cluttered, really, because I didn't really build it with like Sims in mind. Like I said, there's like a room that has two bunk beds. There's a nursery, and then there's the primary bedroom, and they're all pretty like basic. A lot of the time, like with these kind of builds, I just kind of am just filling it, and sometimes these builds take so long. Like I think this build took me about like 3 or 4 hours to finish, so it took me a while. And at some point, I am just like, I want to be done. This primary bedroom has been interesting. It starts off as this like kind of like greenish, reddish brown look. I end up changing it. I end up kind of keeping the same wallpaper throughout the whole home. It's just the one from oh my gosh, I Horse Ranch. It's just this wallpaper from Horse Ranch, but I think it looks nice. Like I think it's a habit I have, is keeping, not a habit, but I tend to keep the same wallpaper throughout whole houses. But also I like, if you really think about it, having the same wallpaper slash paint everywhere is the most realistic. Besides like maybe bedrooms, like people tend to keep the same color throughout their home just to make it easier. It's cheaper, I guess, resale value. But if it's like a super personalized home, of course you're going to change the colors of your walls. Little funny side story, when I, back in my family's home in Michigan, when I repainted my room, my mom liked the color so much she repainted our entire basement that color as well. And it was literally just like a basic like grayish blue. I didn't want to do something like too colorful, because it used to be like this like ugly yellow brown, and it was like that basically the entire time I lived there in that home, until I was maybe like 16 or 17, and then I finally repainted it. But that was annoying. But like, but then I changed that color. Then my mom stole the color, and now our entire basement is that color. So it's not even unique. My sister has the most unique room. She was one of those people that like in like 2015, 2014, like painted their room that like cerulean blue. Not even cerulean. It's not even a dark blue. It's like a teal. She painted it teal, and honestly, I think it looks cool. I know a lot of people are like, oh, like the teal is kind of like a little, it's a little like it's a sign of the times, but I think it looks cool. I think it's a fun color, and it makes her room very bright. But yeah, I mean, neither of us live at home anymore. She now lives in the UK while she's in her master's program, and I am not there. I'm in New York now, not in Michigan. But it's always fun to go back. And actually, my room is not even my room anymore. It's now like an office space, and I have to sleep. When I go home, I have to sleep in the guest bedroom in the basement. I brought my partner to Michigan this past summer for the first time, just because he's never been, and he's met my family and everything, but he's never been to Michigan. So I brought him back, and we did not get to sleep in my childhood bedroom. We had to sleep in the guest bedroom in the basement, which honestly is better because it is colder down there. Because it's like it's not fully underground, but it's like one of those like half underground homes, like very Midwest style. But yeah, we slept down there, but it was nice. But it is kind of funny that like I don't have my quote unquote childhood bedroom. It's not really my childhood bedroom. Like we moved there my freshman year of high school, like at the end of it. So going into sophomore year, like freshman year, summer of freshman year of high school, we moved houses just because we were like downsizing and just didn't want to live in the home that we were in at the time. My parents wanted to find somewhere where they could like grow old in, basically, in the house we were in at that time. Like my actual childhood home just wasn't the fit anymore. Anyway, I'm really giving my life story. But yeah, right now we are finishing up the terrain paint outside. And as you can see, I make it a little walked on. Again, it's all stone with some like plants, and then it looks like the horse basically, like, and the person and horse basically just take the path of least resistance straight out of the paddock area so they can go walk around. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this build turned out for how like tough it was and how it just was not a good time. I think it looks pretty normal to say. So I would say that is a success for a shell challenge. Here's that little chicken coop I mentioned. I just kind of like make it look like it's been trotted on a lot. And we're actually getting near the end of the speed build. We're going to jump in first person mode, and I will show you guys around. All right, and here we are at the soup house. Still no idea why it's called the soup house, but it is the soup house. So it's a little, I don't know, horse ranch farmhouse. Sorry if you guys can hear the train outside. Really cute front deck, a little chair, wraps around. We're gonna go in through here. We got a nice little entry hall, very adorable. We go through this tiny little gap into the living space. Got another chair here. I think this feels super cozy. Why am I trying to convince you guys? No idea. Then if you go through here, you come through the kitchen. And then look, there's someone out the back door just standing there apparently. So is the horse just standing there. And then if you come through here, you come through the dining room. Very nice, very cozy. I kind of like how kind of small and tight it is. Then we're going to go upstairs. We come into this landing that's pretty small. Right here is the bathroom. There's also a bathroom downstairs that I accidentally missed, so we'll go back for that one. So right here, right next to the stairs to the basement, there is a tiny half bath that actually is a toilet that I have no idea where it went, so we'll add that before I put this in the gallery. Back upstairs, we go in here and we have the bunk beds. For some odd reason, she's getting into the bunk bed. So this is kind of like a twins room or just siblings room. And then across from here, we have not another bedroom. We have the primary bedroom. So very cute. I think it looks nice, looks cozy. I love this window. You have a great view of the backyard. And then the other room is just the nursery. I use this cloud roof ceiling paper. I've always wanted to use it, so I think it looks real cute. And if you go down the stairs, I really didn't work a whole lot on this. It's just a lot of wine racks, a little bar, and a little make winery section. Back in the living room, you come out here, you have a little easel and a chess table, and then you have the horse, the little horse stable area. You have a little stable area over there. I'm loving these plants. You got some chickens just grazing around, and then this is the little stable area. Very nice. I'm pretty happy with this. So yeah, thanks for watching this pretty long speed build, and I will see you guys in the next one.